Comic-Con at home was a big success, tons of reveals, tons of products. It wasn't lackluster at all. Hello, and welcome to a very special Tyler G show. Basically going to be a Comic-Con reaction because last week was San Diego Comic-Con at home. I didn't do a show last week because I wanted to take in all the sights, all the sounds of Instagram pictures showing reveals from Comic-Con at home. Now, there wasn't a lot of DC stuff shown from a bunch of different companies. One company, McFarlane, showed a lot of DC stuff that's coming out. Some I like, some I don't. I wrote down very detailed notes on each figure, what I like, what I don't. So we'll be covering that. In terms of DC Collectibles Dc Icons, I feel like they're waiting for the DC fandom to show us all those cool statues that no one will buy. But in terms of Comic-Con, what we got mostly was reveals from McFarlane. Now, before I get into all that and we start discussing this, I'd like to say thank you to the sponsors. For without them, we would not have this show. So, first sponsor I'd like to thank is Zavi UK. I will put a link to their Instagram below. And if you haven't heard of Zavi UK, you should, because they have literally everything that a collector or a connoisseur of pop culture would want. They got Funko Pops, they got action figures, they got posters, they got steelbook Blu-rays, they got clothes of everything you'd want. Any nerdy thing you could think of, they got clothes for it. Even like their newest one is the Paramount collection, and they got stuff from like Sleepy Hollow, they got Ron Burgundy stuff. So it's not just like comic book stuff. They have literally everything big in pop culture you can find at their store. And the thing that I appreciate most about them right now is not a lot of people know that they sell action figures, okay? And those DC animated figures are going to be hard to find, especially like on Big Bad Toy Store or Amazon. You can't even find like a Red Hood figure for less than $50 already. So if you pre-order from Zavi UK, it's a good chance that you can get those figures at a decent price and not have to worry about them being sold out, because until right now, and for those, unless you've seen this video, you don't know that Zavi UK has action figures. In fact, they're sending a few action figures my way, and I'm going to be doing a giveaway soon, so stay tuned for that. It's for fan art. So if you put in the fan art, if you tag me, instead of a print this month, you're going to be getting an action figure. Okay, next sponsor is Skillshare. Skillshare is like YouTube, but 10 times better, because instead of just some random person that can make a video on how to change your oil and they have no idea what they're doing, Skillshare has curated videos of people that this is their specialty, teaching you whatever you want. So for me, I go on there when I first got it and was looking at photography and how to tell a story with images and that sort of thing. You could find lighting, you could find anything that interests you, you could find. And if you use my link below to Skillshare, you get 2 free months, okay? Now you just have to make sure you cancel the subscription after 2 months if you don't want to use it. The bets are that you will, but you just have to remember that yourself. So, I mean, that's basically every free trial nowadays. But I would think that if you use 2 free months, you'll get a lot of information that you could use and tools that you could use for a lifetime. So why not use the 2 free months? Plus it helps me out. Other than that, we got Soap Studios, who's coming out with 2 new figures. They have them up for pre-order. They are like they have a soft good clothing style, like a mezco. They're 6 inches, and their 2 new figures coming out are Batman and Catwoman from The Dark Knight Rises. I have a few Soap Studios right here. They're some of my favorite action figures, especially the Reverse Flash and the Liam Neeson Ra's al Ghul. They're some of my favorites. And their figures actually just keep getting better and better. Each figure that comes out, they seem to have more articulation to, and they just get better at the close. So check them out, link below. Diorama Prints, a new diorama company. I absolutely love them. You can check out my pictures that I do with their stuff at my Instagram, link below. I'll put their link below. And if you check out their store, they got a bunch of new stuff coming out. So stuff that I don't even have on my page yet. So if you want to look at some new stuff that's up for pre-order that they announced over the weekend of San Diego Comic-Con, link below. Also, Undone Watches. Undone Watches has some new stuff coming out soon. I don't know what it is, but they just let me know that they have new stuff coming out soon, and to keep an eye on that. So I'll leave a link in the description below. Now we get to the real stuff. McFarlane reveals. Okay, so on my paper, this is my intro. Okay, I'm covering up my intro. All that was the intro. This is all what I have to say about McFarlane. All right. So, McFarlane reveals. Okay. I'm actually going to go on their Instagram too. Just so I could get a visual of this as I go. Maybe I'll add some stuff on the fly, like Mighty. Alright. I know you guys are super interested in me swooping right now. Alright. Let's start off with DC Metals. I don't care about their animals that they made, like a metal monkey and a metal shark. I don't care. Alright. The first thing I noticed when I saw the reveals is, what is the deal with him forcing DC Metals on us as fans? Okay? I like Scott Snyder and I like Greg Capullo. When I was first getting my back surgery, my first one back in like 2014, the end of 2014 or beginning of 2015, I read Zero Year and the Joker Endgame, and what was the one where he peels off his face? A Death of the Family? Death of the Family? Yeah. That's it. So I enjoyed those. I really enjoyed, as you could tell, the third Death of the Family. But Death of the Family I enjoyed too, especially seeing all the Bat Family members at the table. You thinking that their faces are ripped off. However, DC Metals I don't feel is a very popular book. I could be wrong, but if you look at DC Metals, and I mean, all right, so they revealed. I'll just talk about what they revealed first. They revealed a Joker or Batman that laughs, Joker with like wings. Is that his final form? I don't know because I didn't read. It just didn't seem that interesting to me, and I'll tell you why in a second. Then it shows that this. I'm guessing that this Batman who laughs. Batman who laughs and Sky Tyrant wings to assemble the Merciless from Dark Knight's Metal. Oh, so he's the Merciless. Batman the Merciless. All right, and he comes with the two little Robins. I think so. Let me look. Oh, so it comes on a Robin Earth 22 featured, head sculpted with 3 unique expressions. Oh, so it's one Robin, okay. At first I was thinking that the 2 Robins came in a 3-pack with Joker. However, Todd McFarlane did it right. He didn't put the 2 Robins in a 3-pack. He's releasing it one at a time, and I guess they have 3 head sculpts to match the different Robins. Now, I mean, after that they show like they show the Wonder Woman Batman mix. They show Superman who laughs, and they show another comic book Batman. Okay. Here's where I get into what I think and what I don't. All right. Besides the fact, I don't like that we're getting forced the DC Metals, because if you look at each design, the perfect way to go would have been Endgame for Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. However, it feels like they got together and were drinking and smoking and designed a bunch of different Joker hybrids with characters and a lot of different Batman hybrids. Like, oh, what would Batman be like if he was mixed with Wonder Woman? And what would he be like if he was mixed with... It feels like a little kid came up with the designs, and then they have to come up and like reverse engineer a story around all the designs they made. And plus, a lot for people that don't understand the DC multiverse, and for people that get, I would say, overwhelmed by the amount of comic lore, it's not a very accessible story for those people. And like I stated previously, the stories like a Death in the Family or Death of the Family, Endgame, and Zero Year, those felt like they had stories first, and then they went about doing the comic and drawing it and all that. However, I just cannot get past the fact that DC Metals seems very gimmicky. What if Batman was mixed with everyone in the Justice League? Oh, Now, how do we make sense of that? That's what it feels like. The design for the Robins and Batman Who Laughs, that's cool. Do I need a Wonder Woman, a Flash, a green Batman? I mean, the designs are cool, but it's a lot of Batman, and you're excluding a lot of other characters that you could be doing up front, and you could be mixing these guys in one wave, and building that up from there and building that collection. But this is your I would say your first real Comic Con, and you basically just dumped a bunch of Batman Meadows figures on us. And again, there's a comic Joker that they released, and it looks like, what kind of Joker? Curse of the White Knight. Joker, is that it? Batman armor figure. Look out for the Joker based on DC Rebirth comic. Okay, the Joker DC Rebirth. That body is the same body as the Arkham Asylum Joker that they already came out with. It's just a different head. That's lazy. Maybe the paint's a little different, but it's the same thing. And then they also do another comic Batman, a Rebirth Batman. I got interrupted by a call from my back surgeon. But now we're back. So I was talking about how the DC Rebirth Joker is just a head swap because the body is exactly the same, minus a few paint apps of the Arkham Asylum Joker. So that's pretty lazy. And we got also another Arkham Knight Batman, but it's just the Origins version, so the paint is black. And there might be a few more added details on the chest, but overall it's basically a repaint. And that's part of a 2-pack with Deathstroke, which Deathstroke looks amazing. I'll be getting him, that's for sure, because it also looks like a good Snyderverse Deathstroke. Looks a lot like he did in the end credit scene of the terrible Joss Whedon version. Hopefully we'll be getting more announcements, especially on Deathstroke coming soon. However, the other thing that they showed was another Batman, Flash Batman versus regular Flash. It doesn't feel very inspired. Another Flash figure, but this time he's grimacing, and we get a Batman mixed with the Flash. So instead of the lightning bolts, they just look like ears, and he's all red, and he has a bat emblem with a lightning bolt going. I mean, I think it's cool if they gave us more variety, but I love Batman, but only to a point. I want more stuff in my collection. Okay, so, I mean, I like the armored Batman's okay, just because I like having different armored Batmans, and that's from the White Knight. But there's one item that's a big must. It's a Holy Grail figure, and it's the one thing I really liked. And it is the Thomas Wayne Flashpoint Batman. We might never get one on film, especially the way we want. However, we will get this figure. I'll be pre-ordering that as soon as I can. I saw that some of the 2-packs, I think the Flash versus the Flash Batman is an Amazon exclusive. So as these things start to go for pre-order, we'll start to figure out which ones are going to be which distributors, which ones are going to be Walmart exclusives, which ones are going to be Target exclusive, GameStop. Which ones are they going to paint blue, a light blue, and then just put them out so you can buy them again in a blue? I mean, if you count the blue colored Batmans, the repaints, you got the Action Comic one, you got the BTS one, you got the regular BTS, you got regular Action Comic Batman, you got White Knight Batman, you got Arkham Asylum Batman. That's 6 Batmans in only the first 2 waves or 3 waves. That's a lot of Batman. And I know that we're getting more Bat Family stuff coming up, but there's other characters in DC. Where's Aquaman? Where's a cool comic Mera? Where's a good Vixen? Where's a Robin? Just a regular Robin, not Red Hood, not Nightwing. Give us a Robin. Or Titans. What happened to Titans? What happened to the show Titans? I would love a Titans Robin. What happened to your animated line? Are you gonna only make Harley Quinn and Batman? There's a lot of questions I have. Like how much stock is how much are those cardboard baseball cards with images of the character on them going to be worth? How much are those going to be worth in 10 years? Or are they going to be compost or in the trash? When you could be doing a Build-A-Figure piece, you could be just peppering out these DC medals as Build-A-Figures through the year. However, we just get, I mean, I know eventually it's going to even out. It's just, I'm just giving you my opinion that I'm not a big fan of all the characters they're releasing so far. The only one that I truly was like, I gotta have it, is Thomas Wayne. And I will have it. What else we got? Oh yeah, they showed Titan Cyborg. And it looks like the cartoon version, but I can't tell if it's from the cartoon version, the original that everyone loves, or the updated one that everyone hates. Because it looks like a generic version of both. The Red Hood and the Nightwing that they show, that's a 2-pack. That's just another repaint of Nightwing. Instead of blue, he's red. He's got the red emblem. And the Red Hood, you could buy it for cheaper probably, for like $25 at your comic book store and get the same looking figure, same scale at 7 inches, probably better quality, but who knows with DC Direct. But you could get a Red Hood figure right now that looks exactly like that, and you don't have to buy a crappy Nightwing with red. There's been plenty of those that already come out, but we need another. I mean, I understand that there are certain standards that you gotta do for each line. You gotta do a Nightwing, and he only has had 2 costumes, so you gotta do a red one eventually. But right out the gate, so fresh after the other Nightwing, I feel like you gotta space it out some, because no one's gonna be buying waves of all B characters. Like if you released a Starfire, a Beast Boy, a Vixen, like a whole like Teen Titans wave. I'm sure some will be bought, and there's the diehards that will buy them, but overall they're not highly recognizable. So to do a whole wave like that, I mean, that would be pointless. But if you had something like in that wave, you had a Thomas Wayne, or in this wave with these characters you're not really used to, we got a Red Hood, or we got a Jason Todd Robin. So, I gotta talk about that too, the other reveal. But anyway, I'm just giving you my initial reactions. I'm sure seeing the certain figures, I'll be like, okay, that's better than I thought, or that's way worse than I thought. I really think the Joker and the Rebirth Joker and Batman really annoy me. Just another comic book Batman that many fans have already, a Rebirth version. And then a Rebirth Joker where the body is literally the same body as the Arkham Knight Joker, just a different head. You could buy the White Knight Joker and just put that Joker head on it, and boom, you got a Joker. Anyway. Okay, the other reveal, I mean, enough of me bagging on old Todd McFarlane, who, if you didn't know, there's a comic book named Faust, and it came out a couple years before Todd McFarlane made Spawn, and I think he ripped it off. It's basically Spawn. But I mean, I feel like that just goes to show how creative of a human being he is. So I'm just saying, he's not all that in a bag of chips. He invented Spawn. No, he didn't. He ripped it off. All right. So the other reveal that I was kind of annoyed by, and I don't know if, 2020 is just not a good year in general, but in terms of collecting and me, I'm getting really annoyed. And also, what they showed was, what I'm talking about, is they have a Under the Red Hood or a Death in the Family interactive movie. However, it looks lazy. I mean, I think it's cool, the concept. The concept's cool, and I did do that Bandersnitch or whatever on Netflix, and that was fun. That's fun. I used to read the Goosebumps where you choose your own ending. You just turn to the different page, turn to 108 if you did this. Turn to page 57 if you did this. And those are cool. However, not if you just reuse all the footage from Under the Red Hood. It looked like almost every single frame that they showed is from Under the Red Hood, the movie that came out years ago. And in some different versions, it looked like they replaced the like Red Hood with a different costume, like a Red Robin Kingdom Come style, or a Hush style bandage. And I mean, I appreciate the idea, I appreciate the concept, and I would really appreciate the movie if it wasn't a lot of reused footage. And I feel like, yeah, that might be just what they're showing us, and that might be at the first third of the movie. It might be just like half the movie. It might be 10 minutes of the movie. But still, if you're gonna get someone hyped on something, don't show them just a reskinned version of something they already saw. I don't know. If you guys see the trailer, you know what I'm talking about. If you have ever seen Under the Red Hood, you'll turn on that trailer and be like, this looks like a lot of the same stuff, except instead of wearing the Red Hood costume in this scenario, he's wearing a different costume. And that to me feels lazy too. I mean, it might have been a lot of work to come up with all the different scenarios and animate the different scenarios. It might have been, but it looks like you just reused a lot of footage and swapped out a cell of Red Hood and put on like a different costume. So, I mean, I pay for a year up front on DC Universe. If that drops on DC Universe for free, I don't care. I mean, that'll be fun. Watch something new. They need some new stuff. But if they're expecting people to pay money for this, and a lot of it's just repurposed footage that they're going to try to, again, like, reverse engineer into a different movie, it doesn't work. I don't think it will work. We'll see. I'll definitely be watching because this is my job. That's what I cover. But I just don't like it. I'm not a big fan of it. Maybe it's because this year's so rough. People just decided to do things a little half butt this year, or half ass. I censored myself. But I mean, DC medals are cool if they're spread out. I don't want them all dumped at once. We'll see what DC Direct has for us at DC Fandom, but overall, you guys have my unfiltered opinion on what I think. I mean, McFarlane's not going to be sending me samples anytime soon. But if you want to see the same picture against the same background, the same pose, they definitely send samples to those people, so you can check those out. So today, because it's just a different episode and it's more like a Comic-Con reaction, I'm just going to go right into an episode review. We'll still have fan art at the end of this, but no fig review or how-to or Batman The Adventures Continue. I'm just going to wait a little bit on that so I get more story to analyze. But I'm going to cover the Batman Animated Series episode that we're reviewing today, and that is The Worry Man, and that is that involves the Mad Hatter. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it. But anyway, we start off with, we're at a party. We're at Veronica Vreeland's party, and it looks like she's walking through a forest, but when the camera pans around, we see that she's just walking out of a little stage prop at a big party, and she's basically bragging about how she went to the rainforest, and they had bugs that were as big as you could ever imagine, and it wasn't as easy as she thought it was going to be, but she toughed it. And then she goes about how, we should all protect the rainforest, and everyone goes, and then they all fawn over her and ask her questions about her vacation. But we then see Bruce, and he's with a man who's talking to him about, it must be nice that Vreeland doesn't have to worry. I'm worried about my business lasting till tomorrow. And Veronica Vreeland overhears us, and she comes over and she's like, why would you worry? She's like, when I was in the rainforest, I met someone that gave me these. They're called Worry Men. And it looks like a little wooden figure. And she goes on to explain that if you put it under your pillow and sleep, they do all the worrying for you. And she basically swears by it. And they kind of laugh at her, but they take the guy takes a little Worry Man. And while Bruce was talking to Veronica, he sees that there's someone peeking through a skylight of the building dressed like what is it called? A Mayan witch doctor. And so Batman interrupts Veronica, and he's like, I gotta go. I gotta make some other rounds, talk to some other people. He meets the guy on the roof, and they proceed to have a little spat, a little fight. Bruce appears that he got rid of him, but he's not quite sure, so he does some looking around where the guy might have went, and we see he's doing a Batman move. He's hiding right underneath Batman's nose where he looked. And then we see that Bruce is back at the cave, and he's telling the experience to Alfred and shows him the little Worry Man and explains about it. Even Alfred laughs and is like, "Oh, that's preposterous." And then he thinks, "Oh, but every little thing helps." So he puts the worry man under Bruce's pillow. Big mistake. So, under mind control, Bruce's secretary has to pull 20 million from the Wayne Tech business, or Wayne Corporation, whatever it's called in this Batman animated series. And they're basically pulling it out under mind control. He's going to give it to whatever villain is behind this. But once Bruce realizes what's going on, he basically starts to do some digging, and he wants to meet with Veronica Vreeland about who exactly, because she's the common denominator for all these businessmen that seem to be taking money out of their own business and just throwing it away. So Veronica Vreeland is the common denominator, and Bruce goes to go talk to her. But when he sees her, she got a case full of jewels and money that she's about to give over to these witch doctors. And Bruce is able to snap her out of it and protect her. However, he's able to, once she says something about the person that gave her the Worryman being an Englishman, things start to click for Batman. And so he goes back to the Batcave and he deduces that it is the Mad Hatter. Now, because Batman stopped the witch doctors from getting Veronica Vreeland's money and jewels and stuff, they go back empty-handed to Mad Hatter. Mad Hatter knows the gig is up. Batman's on to him, so he prepares to have a visit from Batman. Batman goes to confront Mad Hatter at an old theater production company that's been shut down, based on the clue of the witch doctor's fur being from that company. Batman's a detective, in case you didn't know. But Batman heads to Mad Hatter's hideout, and before taking him on one-on-one, he has to take on a bunch of little marionette puppets dressed as different villains. My favorite one, because it's fitting, is Harley Quinn, since she is basically Joker's puppet. But it's a very cool ending, very scenic ending with a lot of cool visuals. But in the end, Batman wins, and Mad Hatter goes to jail. I believe this is the last time that we see the Mad Hatter in BTAS form. Except, no, we see him in the trial. We'll see him again. He plays a big part in that. Alright, so you've heard my thoughts on Comic-Con. You've heard the BTAS review episode. Now it's time for the fan art. And remember, this month, what we're doing, this upcoming month, yeah, we'll just do it all the way through August because it's a big prize. This upcoming month that will be done at the end of August, we're going to be doing, if you tag fan art in my page, either Tyler G Show or Batman Figs, you'll be entered to win an action figure, which it's on its way, and I'll be able to show you once I get it which version it is. But if you'd like to win a Batman action figure, make sure to tag me, and I'll show you guys on here, which we're about to go to fan art. Let's go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're at the fan art portion of the Tyler G Show, and right now we got a really, really cool pic of Batman and Robin, the dynamic duo by Ojandu. I hope I'm saying that right. Ojandu. It's really, really good. A lot of line work. I enjoy seeing drawn art. Speaking of one of the best drawn arts, a person that's a drawing artist is Lee Bermejo, and this is tagged and brought to us by Batman_black_and_white. Batman black and white. Instead of spaces, underscores. I absolutely love Lee Bermejo's art. Someone tagged us in a Marvel post. Unknown_figs. Thanks for sharing your haul. I don't care if it's Marvel, it's still pretty cool. Jonathan Lobo Frederick does this very cool, almost flare gas bombish Robert Pattinson Batman. Then we got Needless Immortals doing a Doomsday. I can't tell if that's the newest one that came out or an old Mattel version. It looks like the Storm's collectible version. I could be wrong, but the Robin is definitely DC collectible / direct. It's a really cool picture. Good lighting. Toys of Arkham, a frequent tagger on this page, and a friend of the friend of the podcast we've had on. He does what everyone hopes we see soon. A Jared Leto Joker and a Ben Affleck scene. Hopefully we get it. A DC fandom. Max of Uzi _ gaming. Or Maxo Fuzi _ gaming. Whichever way you want to say it. He has a cool, maybe I can't tell what company did it. Maybe Mattel, but it looks like an Endgame Joker. Maybe the basic figure, or maybe the 12-inch. Who knows? This is a blank. Let's go back and see what that was. They don't want me to know. Alright, well this is from Toy Talica. A Mezco Supreme Knight. Look at that bad boy. This might be brand new. Very nice lighting. From Sam _ Toy Graphy. Woof. Here is a Storm Collectible, I think, Bane. Or it might be a stat. No, he has a joint. That's a Storm Collectible Bane. From Anti-Eternia _ Qatar. Lego Master 6904. It would be cool. It would be way better if it was Lego Master 69420. But this is a Flash giving Batman a little push. Very cool effects, giving the illusion of movement. But who knows, it might have been moving. Little cosmic comic history. Nice Christian Bale Batman photo on the Bat Pod from Much Ahmad Faye Bryant. Hopefully I said it right. Toys of Arkham with the Arthur Fleck Joker. Looks like a hot toy for sure. I think it's a third-party hot toy. Ah, classic Hush from DC Direct. Anti-Eternia _ Qatar with this one. I think we're getting back to, yeah, we're heading back into previous weeks. I think. Let's see. This is pretty cool. That's awesome. This is really cool lighting. Money. Right now I think we're getting to previous stuff. Alright. That was this week's tags. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. And I'll see you next week.